it makes sense. But if I'm being brutally honest, the idea person behind this is my husband. Okay. And some of it stemmed from the fact that I kept blocking certain airlines that I refused to travel on. They totally disrespect Africans, both with the caliber of planes, the way that the staff treats Africans when they travel, and so forth. And I would say, "Oh, I'm not flying this airline ever again, this airline." And he was like, "Soon you're going to run out of airlines." But I said, "I have to stand my ground. There are airlines that come to Ghana regularly that I have not flown for like 20 years because I boycotted them. Probably doesn't matter to them because, they're a big airline. But it's those types of discussions that led to him saying, we should try and set up our own airline. And that conversation really kind of took shape, I'd say 6 years ago. We're still on that journey, but I'm happy to say that very soon, very, very soon, we will have an incredible announcement to make. But along the way, we have been lied to, cheated to, empty promises. I could literally write a book. And there have been times when, like, we almost wanted to give up. But then we said, if we don't do this, who will do this? And especially since people are saying airline, we're doing an airline. We've got licenses to do an airline. But in my mind, Kamal, we are actually building an aviation ecosystem. Okay. So let me put it in an easier way to understand. By what we are doing, we are more looking to plan and create a highway that allows the continent of Africa to connect with the Caribbean in a much easier, frictionless way. So, business to businesses, relatives who've never been able to meet with each other because the gods that be won't give them not even a transit visa. All of those things disappear once our airline takes off. Not to mention cargo, not to mention being able to create family reunions in places that people could never dream of going to. Because I don't know if a lot of Ghanaians know this, but when Kwame Nkrumah took Ghana to independence, or I like to say back to independence, because they were independent before, I'll just say the British, the colonialists came. Another verb came to mind, but I'll leave
Yeah,
that one
done,
out.
done, done.
And Kwame Nkrumah turned to people in the Caribbean to help build the infrastructure in Ghana. Trinidadians, Jamaicans, Bajans, because he had met them in university. And so the engineers and things, they came, and they came in many cases with their wives at that time, and they now have children here. But many of the children and great great grandchildren, they've never been able to go back home because that transit visa has been an obstacle.